Welcome back to Kind Yoga with Meg. I'm Meg, and I'm always happy to share the practice that we're doing in our classes together with you online. So thank you for coming to join me and share in this practice. Today I'm going to share what we've been working on, setting a good solid foundation in our bodies and in our hearts and minds so that we can allow ourselves to open up into a place of receiving, a place of giving, but allowing ourselves to feel solid in that space while releasing into opening the heart, opening the shoulders, getting that stretch across the volume of space that we are rather than crunching in and rounding down. So let's get started. As always, we'll set that foundation in our torso. Find your seated position, any position that's comfortable for you. I like to sit cross-legged. If I'm feeling tight or my hips feel like my knees are kind of creeping up, I grab a blanket or a block or a towel, whatever you have. You don't need fancy equipment. Real basic stuff here. Rolled up blanket, and then you can see how my knees kind of splay open and down to the earth a little more. So that gives these hips a little space. If you need that, grab this blanket if you have it nearby. Otherwise, just start grounding those sits bones. Notice where the sits bones are at the base of your pelvis. And when you feel them connecting with the earth, take a moment to notice if your pelvis is curving forward or back. Are you tucking it forward, thinking you're lengthening your lower back, or pushing it back, kind of pushing the tailbone towards the backs of your mats? Just allow the tailbone to drop down. You can always have your hands on your knees. You can place them beside your hips for a little bit of support, always. You can take breaks and stretch out that back if you feel that sitting up straight is hard. I've had a few people return back to class after a little break, and they were reminded of how difficult it can be to sit up straight. Lengthening through that spine. When you feel your sits bones and your pelvis connecting with the earth, try to take some lengthening breaths up your spine. So I like to breathe into my pelvic floor, my tailbone area, and allow the breath to kind of move up the length of my spine, creating space between each vertebra. So I imagine the breath, rather than the force of the muscles, just the breath, the power of that breath, creating space between each vertebra like a cushion. Just giving yourself a little bit more length. And you can do this with a nice fluid breath from your tailbone all the way up, inhaling. And then exhaling, settling into that length, releasing the belly in as you exhale. Or you can kind of take sections, the lower back, lower region of your spine, inhaling, exhaling, mid region, inhaling, exhaling, top region. We'll take another moment here, exploring creating length in our spine with the power of our breath, and releasing rigidity, tension, heaviness from the body. Each time you exhale, think about pulling the belly button towards that lower back so you activate your abdominal wall, your center for stability, and lifting those lower abdominals, lift, lift, lift out of the pelvic floor, off of the pelvic floor, and expelling that breath. So inhaling for length and expansion, creating space. Exhaling, building that strength. Same breath into the center of the chest, expanding, creating space between each rib of your rib cage front side, and get into that back body underneath those shoulder blades. Wake that area up. And then exhaling, allowing the rib cage to settle. Let your shoulder blades release down your back. They want to creep forward because they're used to the muscles pulling them forward. Give space to the tops of your shoulders. Beautiful work. Feel the length in your spine growing. Coming back to your true length and strength. Already feeling opening from the center of the chest to the outward edges of your shoulders, Feeling that volume of space expanding and creating space over that heart. One nice inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth, exhale really slowly. Nice. Inhale, looking up to the sky. Let's get some movement going. So be mindful not to arch into the back body. You're lengthening and you're opening up, letting the light into the chest. You can feel the light coming onto the face. Exhaling when you're ready and chin to the chest. Let's wake up the neck. Inhale, right ear looks at the right shoulder. Ground through your left side. Exhale around the back. Lift, 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 lift. Feel the crunching through that left side. Ground through the right. All the way back to center line. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, up and over. Through the right. Oh, there's some good cracking going on. Chin to the chest. Let's take an inhale, stretch those fingertips up to the sky, crunch those shoulders, clasp those fingers, push up into the palms, exhaling, chin to the chest. Hold this here, maybe rock left and right. Getting out of the hips, stretching out the waistline. Good. We're going to go right into some Kapalabhati breathing, our pranayama breath for our practice this morning. So you can bring your hands to heart center, you can press them on your hands. We extended it into arms above the head. I'll do one round, hands down, one round, hands up. You stay with the round that's comfortable for you. Short, sharp exhalations. Take your inhale to prepare and begin. Good, inhale. Exhale. You can keep the hands where they are. You can extend them up overhead. Make sure you're not stressing into the shoulders. Take your inhale for preparation here. Second round. Take an inhale. If the arms are up, exhale, bring your hands through heart center. And we'll all meet with those hands on the knees. Taking a breath to feel the benefit of that Kapalabhati breathing. Tingling down the arms, maybe into the fingertips, a little bit lightheaded, kind of blissed out. And more space in that diaphragm and your lungs to breathe into. Strengthen your center, stability in your foundation in your center. Let's take an inhale, stretch those fingers to the side, looking up, heart opening, exhale, soften the elbows, lift the center of the chest up to the sky. Inhale, stretch it up, let's open up the neck. Exhale, look to your right, elbow, right hand grabs the back of the head, pulls it down, and extending your left fingertips to the back bottom corner of the room. Opening up that left arm, feel that stretch. We're not tilting into the right side, we're keeping equal space between our hips and our ribs. Moving on, inhale the left fingertips up the length of the spine, soften the right hand down the length of the spine. Maybe you can get a clasp in your hands, maybe you want to hold on to your shirt in the back, or you have a strap or that towel. Towel, sock, strap, whatever you have lying around. When you have where you're comfortable, maybe you shimmy to get there. Let's all take a lengthening breath up the spine. And then exhale, lean that head back into that top arm. Find your breath in this stretch. And when you're ready, gently release the clasp in the fingertips. Slowly stretch the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, heart opening breath. Lift up towards the sky as you drop the elbows. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale, reverse it. Left hand grabs the back of the head. Reach the right fingertips away. Open up that arm. Pull the head down on that left angle. Try to avoid pulling into each ear. You're just dropping the nose down. One more good breath here. Open it. Give yourself a thumbs up with this right hand and extend into each finger. Next, inhale, slide the hand up the length of the spine. Release the top hand down the length of the spine, modifying as you need to, grabbing any equipment if you need it. And then when you're ready, take your inhale to lengthen into that space, creating more space. Exhale, lean that head back. Nice big breath. Find space in the body to breathe into. And notice what happens as you exhale nice and slow. Everything starts to soften, creating a little bit more space, less resistance. Release the clasp in the fingertips. Slowly stretch the arms up. Exhale, heart opening breath. Lift the chest. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale. Let's bring our hands through heart center. Find that center. Find that stability in your torso. Release the hands down. Nice breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth. Slow exhale. Wiggle into those fingers. Roll out the shoulders. Roll out the neck. Kind of get into the waist a little bit. Good. Feeling things starting to release. Let's extend into the legs now. So your torso feels nice and long, maybe a little less resistance along the spine. We're going to wake up the backs of the legs. You can always take that blanket or towel, put it under the knees if you really tighten your hammies and your calves. Let's take an inhale, stretch it up. On your exhale, you want to drop about halfway down. So what we're doing here is we're trying to lengthen the spine, not round the spine. So try to get the belly towards the thighs. It gives a nice deep stretch for underneath the legs here. Stay here. If it's a little bit much, interlace the fingers behind the head, head reaching into the back of the hands, maybe hands up position or palms grounded. Take another inhale, lengthen that spine even more. And now round and get nice and passive. Just take a nice big breath here. Breathe into those back ribs. And let the heaviness of the back body go as you exhale. Mash those grapes, windshield wiper from the hips into the feet. Grab hold of the feet, shins, strap around the bottoms of the feet. Let's inhale, lengthen into the spine. Pull back on those feet if you can. Lift the heels off if you can. Exhale, fold it out. Let's keep going. Inhale, reaching forward, rising up, and use those lower abdominals to slide your left leg in. Exhaling, twisting to the left side. Wrap your right arm around. Let's inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, twisting. Let's do it again. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, twisting. We're holding onto the leg. You can extend your fingertips back if that's comfortable. If you don't feel strain in your back, maybe inhale and stretch up to the sky. And if you want to, exhale and reach for those toes. They're down there somewhere. So what we're doing is we're actually reaching forward. So forward for you might be up, and that's about it. Stay here and breathe. If you can go all the way down and reach for those toes, great. Keep twisting open so you're not collapsing that top shoulder over that heart, but we're working opening the space between the shoulders. Nice work. Let's take an inhale, stretch up. Exhale, you're going to drop your palms to the ground. You can also release your back forearm if that's more comfortable for you. I'll show you this version. Roll to the outside of your right leg and float your left leg over. Turn the toes the direction you're facing and open up the left knee. Inhale, float the hips up, extend into those fingertips if you want. From here, if you feel good, you can try to get it into your palm. Make sure that your pelvis sits between the crown of your head and the sole of your foot. If you've got this, you feel comfortable, you can float the left leg on top, full side plank, looking up or looking down. If you're in full side plank, let's bring the left leg crossed over for the hip opener one last time. Take an inhale all together. Exhale, bring the hips back down to the ground, turn towards the front again. Bring the left ankle above the right knee, and let's drop down for a fold. Getting into that hip. Releasing tension in the hip, feeling it in your lower back. Your hands are here for support, so there's no strain, just a stretch and space for your breath. Inhale, reach forward, stretch, plant the left foot. Exhale, lower abdominals. You're pushing that foot away, folding over. Reverse it. Inhale, reach forward, rising up, sliding that right leg in. Set your foundation. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Notice my hand is getting closer to my pelvis. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, compress the belly, twist. You can extend the back hand if you feel comfortable to. No strain in the back. Let's see how it feels to stretch the arm up. If you feel good here, take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach up and forward. Keep motivating forward and twisting open. Maybe we're getting to the toe. Maybe we're really just reaching and enjoying that stretch. Go to where you feel good in your breathing. Let's take an inhale, stretch back up, twist to the front. Exhale, palms or forearm. Roll to the outside of your left leg, cross the right leg over, open up that knee, toes facing the same direction as your eyes. Inhale, lift that pelvis, stretch into the fingertips. See how you feel here. Make sure your extended legs foot, your left foot is good and solid. You can go up to your palm if you want to. Get that pelvis between the sole of the foot and the crown of the head. And if you feel good here, knee is opening nicely, maybe extend into full side plank. Breathing. You can always go down to your forearm. If you're here, let's bring the foot back, open up the knee. Let's all take an inhale, scoot a little higher. Exhale, pelvis to the ground, turn towards the front. And let's rest the right ankle above the left knee. Walk it out. Maybe sitting up straight is enough. You might want your hands there as a little support, or you can fold a little bit deeper, release the head, neck, and jaw. Nice big breath into this back body. Let's take an inhale, reach forward, rise up, plant the foot, exhale, fold. And then inhale, you're going to pull your belly into your lower back. Round, 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 round. Drag those arms with you, rolling up bone by bone of the spine. Wiggle inside the hip joints. And notice how the body's feeling a little bit more connected rather than pulled together from tension. But there's space for your joints because your muscles have been opened up a little bit more. Beautiful. Child's pose. Everybody loves a child's pose. Pull the sits bones back, reach those fingertips forward. I like to kind of claw them forward bit by bit as I'm pulling my opposite sits bone back. And then rest for a moment. We're going to get a little movement going. Let's take an inhale, pull the belly into the lower back. So we're rounding into a cat position. And on your exhale, let's pull the heart forward, pull the pelvis forward. You might want to walk your hands a little bit further forward to protect your wrists. As you're transitioning forward, your elbows are pointing back, slight bend in them, so they're supporting you so you can lift your heart. If your back is pinching, drop down a little more, but notice the elbows bend. You don't lock them and sit between the shoulders. 3 times. Inhale, rounding. Get that abdominal wall working. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rounding. Release the head, neck, and jaw. Exhale, set the foundation in your elbows, shoulders, so you can open up the heart. Inhale, pull into the belly. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, heart opener. Soften the elbows. Open up the heart. Inhale, rounding. We'll stop here. Exhale, child's pose. Take a breath. We're going to keep moving. Take an inhale. Let's pull the right foot forward. and rest it between the palms. So I'm going to be facing you so you can see the line of my hips. So from here, we're going to take an inhale. We're going to stretch it up. As you stretch up, you're bringing your left hip over your left knee. Drop your right hip. You're nice and even now. You'll feel that stretch in that left side. That's what you want. Stretching the arms up. Take an inhale. Exhale. You can pull forward a little bit. Heart opener. Pull forward more with you're motivating forward with your left side. So you're not sitting in your right side. Feel the muscles working, supporting your joints. Inhale, bring it back. Now you're pulling back a little bit more with your right side. And then exhale, let's drop a little bit deeper and open up to that right side. Inhale, pull it back. Heart opening breath. You can dip a little bit further forward if you want. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, grab hold of your left wrist and go into a right side bend. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, heart opener. So nice movement for the hips. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, this is the deepest one. Bring your hands through heart center, twist to the right side, rest on the elbow, and work the twist or hook the elbow. Make sure your knee is before your toes. You're going to inhale, lengthen to that spine. Exhale, twist, maybe looking over the back shoulder. Think about the line from your toes through the leg, through the body, and right out of the crown of the head. That's a lot of energy. If you feel comfortable, extend your right fingertips back, left hand over heart center. And we added this the last couple of weeks, releasing the right arm down, left arm reaches underneath, clasping the fingertips together, coming back to length on an inhale, exhaling and twisting. Getting into a little bind. Take another breath wherever you are. When you're ready, take an inhale. Stretch it up. Really use the power of the legs. Nice stability. Exhale, palms to the earth. And let's come to child's pose. So now I'll do the side view of it so you can see what it looks like, the line of the legs with the crown of the head. Let's take an inhale. Let's float that left foot forward. Exhale, settle into the hips here. Inhale, pulling back from the core strength and your sits bones. Exhale, heart opening breath. So you can pull forward a little bit, motivating forward with that right hip this time. Inhale, pulling back. Exhale, opening up, finding your stability. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, heart opening breath. Inhale, stretching up. Grab hold of your right wrist this time. Exhale to the left side. Open up the right side. Inhale, pulling back, motivating with that left side. Exhale, heart opening breath, motivating forward with the right. Inhale, pulling back. Deepest one. Exhale, hands through heart center. Maybe we're just resting the elbow, or we're hooking it to the outside of your left leg. Let's inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, we're twisting and looking back if you can. Try not to keep your top shoulder. I see this a lot in practice where the arm is up towards the sky. Even out the collarbones on a natural level. And then work your twist through your spine. If you're comfortable here, extending to the back fingertips, right hand over heart center. Think about the line of your toes through the leg, moving up that spine out of the crown of the head. Maybe the back hand releases down. Maybe the front arm releases down. Moment of truth. What did we eat before our practice? Lengthen on an inhale, exhaling, twisting. Wringing out any toxins in there. Inhale, stretch up to the sky. Find your stability. Exhale, hands down to the ground and float back. Child's pose. Rock it out into alternating hips. Nice big breath into the back ribs. You can wrap your arms around if you want. Child's pose is always welcome. Let's extend the fingertips forward. Take an inhale, tabletop position, belly is strong. Tuck the toes and open them to the outside edges of your mat or just beyond your hips. And on an exhale, let's release into those heels. So you open up the knees so they're facing the same direction as your toes here. So it's a wide-legged downward facing dog. So you might need to pull your hands a little bit closer. You might need to bend a little bit into those knees. And then release the shoulder blades down the spine. So you're not sitting in the shoulders. You've created a nice line of energy from those fingertips to the sits bones. Beautiful work. If you feel comfortable here, let's take an inhale and float our right hand to the outside edge of our left leg. It could be ankle, calf, just below the knee, just above the knee. You might need to grab the hip, whatever's comfortable. Let's inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, twist and look under that left arm and breathe here. Inhale, palms back to the earth, equal weight as you exhale. Reverse it. Inhale, left hand, right leg connection. Next, inhale, you lengthen that spine. Exhaling, twisting. Breathing. Take an inhale, bring your palm back to the earth, equal weight in both palms. Exhale, settle in here. And when you're ready, let's walk our hands back. So you can soften the knees here if you want. Let's bend into alternating knees. And then sort of get the hips involved a little bit more too. So making kind of figure eights. A little bit dancey, a little bit moving. Healing movement. Slowing the legs to still, and maybe just let that energy move down the spine, out of the crown of the head, wiggle it out of each finger. Soften the knees gently. Feel the outside edges of your feet. Make sure your knees are opening, not collapsing inward. And let's take an inhale, pull the belly into the lower back, and roll it up bone by bone of the spine, like you're pulling yourself out of molasses, stretching those fingers up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good, and opening up those palms, bringing the feet together. We've had an escapee. She joined us for our practice. Nothing like good dog energy to help us along. Feel the tailbone releasing, so you're not sticking your rear end out, but you're letting it drop down, but that doesn't mean that you're tucking the pelvis forward. Neutral spine by releasing the tailbone. Strengthen your center by lifting those abs up towards the rib cage. And then as they open up across the chest, you just feel solid and open and ready. All right, let's go into our opening standing practice. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, right side bend. Look up to the sky if it doesn't strain your neck. Inhale, stretch up. Look to the right side. Look up and bend back if it's part of your practice. Exhale, hinging at those hips. Lengthen the spine all the way down. You can soften the knees if you want. Inhale, rise up slightly. Exhale, let's squat down. So you can drop to the knees if you want to, or you can stay on the squat position. Hands are on the outside edge of the right leg. Back hand reaches forward on an inhale, stretches up. Notice your right shoulder opens and reach them back. Find balance here. You can bind this if you want. I usually divide my front knees, keep the knees facing forward. Once you're here, try to lengthen the spine on your inhale. Exhale, twist it open. Maybe look over the back shoulder. Inhale, let's bring our hands to heart center. Drop the tailbone and lengthen the spine through the crown of the head. Exhale, palms to the earth. Find your grounding. And then maybe play with the transition of weight between the palms and back to both feet. If you feel comfortable, maybe see if you want to go into a side crow. Arm balance for your practice today. Anything works. We won't work it too long. We want to spare our wrists. Inhale, test your balance again. Lengthen the spine when you bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, palms to the earth, closer together. Inhale, release the heels, raise those hips. Exhaling to your fold. And here we go. Inhale, lengthen towards that right side. You can extend through the fingertips or put your hands on your hips. Knees can be bent when you rise to standing, twist to front. Exhale, left side bend, look up to the right. Inhale, stretch, look to the left corner, looking up, back bending if you want. Exhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly is strong, spine is long. Bend the knees if you'd like. Inhale, rise up slightly. Exhale, soften into your squat position. Hands are on the outside edge of your left leg, or maybe dividing the front knees in half. Left fingertips reach forward on your inhale. Up, opening across the heart. Exhale, reaching back. Finding your balance here. You can always put a block or a rolled blanket here just to help bring the earth a little closer. And you can bind this position if you want. Maybe explore one arm. Maybe explore getting the other arm involved. Lengthening on your inhale. Exhale, twisting, knees pointing forward. Inhale, let's bring our hands to heart center. Lengthen that spine. Exhale, palms wide. Set that foundation, strong foundation. Play with the transition of weight. And maybe if it's part of your practice, you can go into your side crow. I've got a couch helping me. Inhale. Let's bring our feet back to the earth. Bring the hands to heart center. Lengthen the spine as much as you can. Exhale, palms closer together on the earth. Inhale, release the heels. Raise those hips. Exhaling into a fold. Inhale, lengthen. Bend the knees if you want. All the way up. Twist back to front. Hands through heart center. And when you're ready, open those palms. Keep breathing. We're going to go into a balance, testing that foundation. Your balancing breath, your foundational breath comes from your core. You exhale and kind of tie it all in right there if you feel like you're getting wobbly. Let's take an inhale, stretch those arms up. On your exhale, counter force, hands to heart center and sliding the right leg to where you want it to go for tree. A great option if you feel out of balance is ankle touching the other ankle bone or heel touching the other ankle bone, and then just lift the toes so you don't have so far to fall if you're getting out of balance. Extending the arms up, maybe opening them when you feel ready. Make sure that you don't push into that left hip. Set that nice, strong foundation. Stabilizing breathing. From here, let's take an inhale, bring our hands back to heart center. Turn your knee like a flamingo forward. Exhale, push that flexed foot back, hinging at the hips, coming to warrior three. You can bend into your supporting leg. You can hold above the supporting knee. One more breath here. Nice work. Inhale, slide the foot underneath, stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left leg floats for tree, wherever you're comfortable. Try not to sit into the right hip. Rise up from the sole of the foot, through the leg, past the hip, up the torso. Remember your stabilizing breath from your core. Opening up if you'd like. Opening up into each finger, each branch of this tree. You're strong. You're rooted through that foot. You're solid and stable. Inhale, hands to heart center. Turn that knee forward like a flamingo. Exhale, pushing that heel back, hinging at the hips, and lengthening from the sole of the foot all the way out of the crown of the head. 2 more breaths. You've got it. You're stable and strong. Take an inhale, slide the foot underneath, stretch up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Opening up those palms. Take a breath. Feel the soles of the feet and feel the weight that is no longer in your hips because you're rising up and creating space. All right, let's get a little movement going. I'm going to go to the side this time. Let's take an inhale, stretch it up, release the tailbone. Exhale, chair pose. Hands to heart center. So we're building our foundation here. Nice long torso. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Nice, good breath here. Take an inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, round over those thighs, sleeping chair. Inhale, rise up slightly. Exhale, palms to the earth. Let's lengthen into a plank, modify to the knees if you want. Hold for your strength building. Breathing through it, get the elbows ready for that foundation to release down. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, hover or drop to the earth. Inhale, pulling through. Lifting anywhere to an up dog or before. And on your next exhale, belly pushes the hips back. Downward facing dog. All this can go through the knees if you'd like. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, let's soften that knee, stretch out the leg. And here you can rise and fall off your left heel. Noticing the weight in your palms. Steady the heel. When you're ready, take an inhale, float the right knee into the belly, rounding like you did for cat through the heart, and plant the foot on the ground. Take an inhale, stretching up. Exhale, let's go directly into a warrior two. Feel the outside edge of that back foot. Inhale, scoop it forward and up. Exhale, revolve it back. Stay for a breath. Bend into that knee. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, reaching forward. Let's blast the leg a little bit. Inhale, reach a little further forward. Exhaling to your extended side angle. You can place a palm, a block under the palm. You can rest the elbow. Inhale, twist it open. Exhale, palms to either side of that front foot. You're on your back toes again. Take an inhale and float your back foot forward to meet your front. Exhale, sleeping chair. Inhale, rolling it up. Swinging those arms to the side. Exhaling, chair pose. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, sit a little deeper. We're breathing here, setting that strong foundation. Take an inhale. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, rise up slightly. Exhale, let's get into our plank. Soften those elbows. Get ready. One breath. Everything can be done on the knees if you'd like. Inhale for preparation. Exhale, chaturanga down, hover or drop. Inhale, pulling through. Exhale, belly pulls you back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, soften the knee. Rise and fall off your right heel if you like. Feel equal weight in your palms right now. When you're ready, steady the heel down. Take an inhale, squeeze the knee into the belly. Bring it to the heart and plant your foot between your palms. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, scoop forward and up. Exhale, revolve it. Stay for a breath. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, blast the leg, reach a little more. Exhale, elbow, fingertips, palm, or block under that arm. Breathing here. Inhale, twist open a little more. Exhale, palms to the earth, back toes on the ground. Inhale, float your back foot to meet your front. Exhale, sleeping chair. Inhale, roll it up, bone by bone of the spine. Swing the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Open up the palms. Feel the heat moving through the body. Notice your heart rate. Nice work. Let's open up the feet about mat width apart or a little bit wider. If you have lower back issues, I suggest bending in the knees and maybe seeing what's going on first. You can also put one hand over your tailbone, one hand over your belly to ensure your fold starts at your hips and not at your lower back. So we don't want to push the hips out. We want to keep the glutes strong, the belly strong, and hinge at the hips. So let's take an inhale. You can stretch the arms up if you want.
Exhale, hinge at the hips. Keep the belly strong. Keep the glutes working. Good. Get to 90 degrees. You can soften the knees here. Rest the hands. 4 times. Inhale. Open those arms to the side like airplane wings. Palms facing down. Inhale. Bring them in front. Kind of go into your hip bones, into your fingertips. Inhale to the side. Exhale. Reach and stretch that space between sits bones and fingertips. Exhale to the side. 2 more. Nice big breaths. Last one. Here we go. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, palms to the earth. Fold it out. Let's rock into the knees, alternating knees. Get the hips involved. Do some figure eights here. And then bring them to still and let it just move down the spine out of the fingertips and crown of the head. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Fingertips, reach the right fingertips forward. Exhale, twist it open. Pull the right hip in back of the right shoulder so it doesn't pop out. Take an inhale, stretch open. Exhale, walk the hands in front of your left foot and float your right foot behind the left foot. Bend into your left knee. Let's stretch it out. Big, deep breaths. About 3 good breaths here, stretching into that back leg. Good work. When you're ready, walk your hands back to center. Open up the feet mat width apart. Settle the torso on an exhale. Inhale, rise up to fingertips. Extend into your left fingertips. Exhale, twist open. So make sure your left hip stays behind the shoulder and rib cage, and you're working through that center body. Breathing. Take an inhale, open a bit more. Exhaling, palms to the earth, and walk them in front of your right foot and cross your left foot behind. Bend into your right knee. Dig into your stretch here. A few good breaths. Enjoy the stretch. When you're ready, walk your hands back to center on an inhale. Open up the legs mat width apart. Exhale. Fold into it. So from here, you can rise up a little, weight on the palms, and you can just bend one knee and then the other and come down to the ground. If you want to try a little hop, you're going to take an inhale, rising up, and exhaling. Rest on the tops of your feet. Everybody comes into a child's pose. Claw those hands forward, pull those sits bones back, just like you did at the beginning. And then let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders, push up. You can scoot your hips to the side and swing your legs around. If you want to go through a hop through, just lift off the palms, scoot the legs underneath, and voila, they're in front. They can slide a little bit too. It's like a slidey hop through type of thing. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Same one we did before, but seeing how it feels now. Rock into the hips. See if you found some space. Take an inhale, reach forward and rise up. Slide the feet with you. Exhale, grab underneath the knees, round into the spine. Letting any tension go, belly pulling into the lower back. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, fold over. A nice way to release the lower back. Inhale, stretch the fingertips up to the sky. Feel how your belly's working. You can also hold under the knees. Exhale, you're going to round it and roll all the way down. Get that rolling pin to roll through the front of the body. You can hold on or reach the fingertips down. Walk the feet in towards the hips. Jostle the body. Get settled on the earth. Open the arms to the side and let your knees fall to the side. Let the belly settle. Bring the knees back together. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Interlace the fingers under the left knee. Figure 4 stretch. or a pigeon on the ground. The knee can collapse. It can rest at a 90 degree, or you can keep the foot rising up to the sky. Allow your right elbow to give a little resistance to your right knee so it doesn't collapse in like this, but you're giving it a little bit of a push out as you pull the left leg in. Just depends on your flexibility and your comfort here. You can add a strap underneath that left knee. One more breath for your stretch. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, release the left foot down. Open your arms to the side. And on your next exhale, allow your right foot and left knee to drop to the left side of your mats. Breathing. Keeping the right knee open if you can. And then allowing the right knee to fall to the ground. Left hand can grab hold, deepening your spinal twist. Nice deep breaths here. Relish your exhale of letting go. When you're ready, take an inhale for preparation. Your exhale is going to strengthen the belly and let the belly push the lower back to the earth, so no strain on your lower back. Uncross the right leg from the left. Let's cross the left above the right knee. Interlace underneath or above the knee, or use a strap. Pull that right knee in. Left elbow gives a little resistance to the left knee so it doesn't collapse. You'll feel why. Nice deeper stretch. 90 degree, letting the knee collapse. Raising your right leg. Whatever works for you, whatever feels comfortable. Lots of options. We are nothing if not adaptable and accommodating to our bodies. When you're ready, you can release your foot to the ground, open up the arms, and slowly allow the left foot and right knee to drop to the right side of your mat. Try to push or open up your left knee a little bit more. See how that gets into the hip. And when you feel ready, you can release the left knee down. Maybe your right hand gives a little guidance. You can always roll a blanket, a towel, or something under the knees or legs, wherever you need a little bit of support. Relish your exhales. Take an inhale for preparation. Exhale is the strength of the abdominal wall, pushing the lower back to the earth. Uncross the left leg from the right. Feet are together. Release the knees open to the side. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Take a moment to breathe. And then take an inhale for preparation. Exhaling, chin to the chest. Roll up to the shoulders. Maybe up to shoulder blades off the earth. Keep the chest opening. Try not to lift the head. We're just having the fingers here to open up the shoulders. Kapalabhati breathing, but in this position here to really isolate your abdominal wall. Take your inhale and begin. Nice work. Inhale. Exhale, release the head down. Extend your arms overhead. Breathe into that belly. Allowing the knees to splay open. No tension in the hips. Finally, take an inhale. Bring the knees together and float them over the belly. Wrap the arms around. One circle to the right around that tailbone. One circle to the left around that tailbone. Squeeze the knees in a little bit more, maybe lifting the tailbone off the ground, maybe forehead floats to the knees. Hold the breath. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, extend the legs, the arms. And just enjoy your resting place after your practice, allowing all the goodness you've just created inside your body to settle in and become part of you. When you feel ready, take a breath in, wiggle into your fingers and your toes, maybe rock your head side to side. It's totally fine if you don't feel ready. You can stay here as long as you're able. Slide the feet in towards the hips, bending the knees. Let the knees fall to whichever side they choose naturally. Roll yourself to that side, push off the palms. Everything is slow right now. And we return back to our seated position we started in. Maybe with some friends joining us. Taking a moment post-practice to notice how we're feeling, what we've given ourselves. Less rigidity and kind of strain in holding yourself in your true length, but maybe a little bit more ease in it. Not fighting with your strength and length, but embracing it. Allowing your breath to be your guide to letting go. You've created strength in your body and energy. You've worked out willpower and adaptability. Remember that you're whole and complete, and you're armed with everything you need to tackle the day ahead. Let's take our closing breath of our practice. Gather all the energy that you've created around you. Exhale, let's bring it to heart center. I always like to tell everyone to tuck it in. I like to tuck that energy in. So later on when I need some of that fulfillment, some release, some strength, you can just breathe in, grab some of that, and return right back to this place. Thank you for making it in, joining me and sharing your practice. It's always appreciated. Have a wonderful rest of your day.